Warwick Ellis, Material Civil Test Equipment, a little training video on our latest load cell digitizer controller. There it is starting up. It's going through a startup process. It'll go live in, there it is, we're live in a graph. What I've got to demonstrate this, I've got a jack from a point load tester. We've got a load cell which is attached to the digitizer here in our load frame. I have a secondary load cell here between a jack which is connected to our digitizer, and I've just teared that. So we've got a load cell going to the digitizer, load cell going to our reference device, and a cylinder here. So I'll just put you back into the stand, we'll zoom in. Okay, so when the machine starts up, it automatically comes into this graphical display. You can see up the top here it says graphical display. Graphical display. And so we start pumping. You'll see the load go up in a minute. You can see the load going up. We've got 50 kilonewton full screen display on the graph. We've got a green line and a red line. If I let it stop for a second, if I lower, crack it, there we go, we've dropped it all the way to 0. So the red line is the maximum. So now we're pumping it up. You can see the red and green going up and down a bit. So we're at about 29 kilonewtons here. 29 kilonewtons, and you can see the red line showing the maximum or the peak load. If I push this button, I scroll through, that bar graph is showing us the values, and you can see it goes up when I push it down, push the lever, in a bar graph style. Here's the peak load and the current load. If I back it off, alright, you can see the peak load going up and down. As I push the peak load, you can see the peak load go up again. Okay. Let's just go through that again. So as we're jacking it up, there's our peak load going up. To clear a peak load or to clear the display at any point, if I push the down arrow, I get a warning. In 8 seconds it'll clear, or I can do that. Alright, so we've zeroed it. Now, because we've got pressure, if I back it off, we get a negative number. So push the down arrow, and we're now cleared back to 0. If I push this up, value, there we go, there's about 27 kilonewtons. That's the end of the basic help instructions. One other thing that I will say is that if you want to zero at any point in time a display, the down arrow clears the display. I had 28 kilonewtons on that, so when I release this, of course, it's going to go to negative 28 kilonewtons. If I push the down arrow and wait 8 seconds, it'll clear, or I can push any display. So that's how you clear the display. And there's a help button. The help button provides a lot of reading, but is generally not required in in this application. That'll do for the training.